Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sweet Johnson Stadium at Gary Selby Field for the 2024 Oregon American Legion Baseball State Tournament. Tonight's game features...
Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to Sweet Johnson Stadium in beautiful Eugene, Oregon, on the campus of North Eugene High School. It is day 4 of the AAA American Legion Baseball State Championship Tournament. The Roseburg Dr. Stewart's on the 4th day of the tournament for a 4th consecutive season, and they look to try and finally get over that hump and make it to Championship Wednesday and give themselves a shot at winning a state title for the first time since 2010. But today, the Doc Stewarts will have to make their way through the host team, and the reigning Area 4 champion, the Eugene Challengers, are on the other side for today's matchup. It's an Area 4 battle once again for your Roseburg Dr. Stewarts, and we'll see if they can pull out a victory here today to keep their season going one more day. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Joey Kieran. Great to be with you for another night of Doc Stewart's baseball here this summer on The Score. Today, we are getting ready for a state tournament game, and as we get ready, we bring you the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. You can let them make the run of the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. Coming up, we're going to get a quick word in with head coach Eric Savage in just a moment, so stay tuned for that. Want to remind everybody that today's game is streaming live with video online at 541radio.com, or you can also tune in and catch the action on our YouTube channel. Search 1490 The Score on YouTube. You'll find us there. Hit the subscribe button, and that'll make sure that you don't miss any of our Doc Stewart's baseball coverage here throughout this summer, and it'll get you ready for our upcoming fall sports coverage, where we will have Roseburg High School sports coming up here this fall there on our YouTube channel. As we get ready for this one, we get a chance to catch up with head coach Eric Savage. That'll be coming up in a moment. The live video stream is brought to you by the Cow Creek Tribe. We'll take a 2-minute timeout and come back with Coach Savage here on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you can be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
When the first Cascade branch opened in 1948, things were a lot different here. The fact they're still here says a lot about the way they do business.
Staying in business for 75 years requires the cooperation of generations. It's the desire to learn and grow with your community.
My account number is only 5 digits long. What that tells me is that this is a local credit union.
Cascade Community Credit Union would like to thank you for 75 years of growth and support here.
Back here with more of our Roseburg Disposal pregame show. You can let them make the run of the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. Day 4 of the state tournament. Doc Stewart's back here in Eugene, and tonight they get to take on the host team, the Eugene Challengers. And joining us now is head coach Eric Savage. Coach, Day 4 of the tournament, it's good to be back in this spot for this team. It's 4 years straight. I know there's been a lot of work put in to try and get Legion baseball really kind of the foundation secured and built once again in Roseburg. And being able to do this 4 years in a row, what do you feel like that says about where things are at in Roseburg there?
It's just continued growth, and I think we have a good following and a good part of our youth that want to be a part of our program. And, getting to the second to last day of the tournament is a good representation for our kids from our county, and we keep grinding and putting our effort and keep growing as a whole, and we're going to be playing on that last day, and that's something that we're hopefully going to get an opportunity to do this year. So
yeah, I know that's the goal, and we're oh so close once again. You look at the tournament and how it's played out here. The final 4 teams are the teams that automatically qualify in, and so you would think that the bracket looks like it played out the way that most would have expected it to. How do you feel kind of about how this tournament's gone?
Yeah, it's been a good tournament, and it's pretty much it's gone how we've expected it to go, and we've given ourselves an opportunity to continue playing, and I respect all the teams and coaches that are left, and they're all here for a reason. So now it's about finding a way to get a win, and hopefully a little luck's on our side today, and we do a good job. But overall, it's been a great tournament, and we're excited to be playing today. So.
Yeah. You get to this point in the tournament, it's always a conversation about pitch count. You can go and check out how many pitches that each guy's thrown each game throughout the tournament on the board as you walk in. How do you guys feel about where you're at with the bullpen and with the arms you guys have been able to, kind of conserve throughout this tournament?
Well, we've got a number of arms for today, and we get back a number of arms for tomorrow. So we're hoping that, we don't have to use a lot of guys today and see how it goes. The pitch count is an interesting dynamic. We really haven't had to be too concerned about it until today or until the tournament, and I think we're in a good spot. I think we have as many arms as anybody else, and or more so, and just kind of go from there, and hopefully we end up on the right side and get to play tomorrow. So.
You guys are taking on Eugene, a team you've seen 4 times during league play this year. You were able to split with them, win here, win at home. So obviously a pretty competitive matchup. How do you feel the team is feeling going into this one, and what's kind of been the message to the guys here today?
Well, the message is to keep the same mindset that we always have been preaching. Keep grinding, keep competing for each other, keep competing for a purpose, every one pitch at a time, and it's Eugene Challengers. We know that they're going to slap the ball around. They're going to play good defense. They're coached really well. Kenny does a great job with them, and so we got to play a good baseball game for us to move on. We're going to see probably a couple different arms. I don't think they're going to just burn one with us, and so we just got to be ready to adapt and make adjustments and just compete our tails off for one another. If we're competing for each other, then I like where we're at. So,
all right, Coach. Really appreciate the time. Best of luck out there today.
Thank you, Joey.
Head coach Eric Savage joining us here on the pregame show as we get ready for first pitch. We're going to go ahead and take our final 2-minute timeout here in the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. When we come back, it is time to take a look at our starting lineups. Doc Stewart's baseball taking on the Eugene Challengers on day 4 of the state tournament. Must win for the Docs here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.com.
This broadcast of Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball is brought to you locally by Barnes Heating and Cooling, Cascade Community Credit Union, DC Farmers Co-op, Dr. Alanson Randall, Travel Leaders Flyaway Travel. Tune in throughout the summer for Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Base, number 11, Aiden Hazen. At third base, number 24, Aiden Hibbler. Behind the plate for the Challengers, number 10.
Teams are getting announced down on the field as we get ready to go for Day 4 of the state tournament. Must win for the Roseburg Dr. Stewarts here for the Challengers. They've already clinched their berth on Championship Wednesday. They are the lone undefeated team still left in the tournament, so they only need to win pretty much one more game, and that would be tomorrow to get to the state championship and then get into the Northwest Regional in Montana. So right now, it's Eugene sitting in the driver's seat. We will have a new we will have a new state champion this year. The reigning state champs, the Portland Barbers, eliminated by the Mid-Valley Southpaws 6-5 in the game earlier here today. That eliminated the reigning state champs, and Mid-Valley now will await the winner of this matchup. If it's Eugene, they'll have to beat Eugene twice tomorrow. If it's the Docs, Mid-Valley will play the Docs at 2, and then the winner of that matchup would go on to face Eugene for the state title. Before we get to our Cooper's Pest Control starting lineups, let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Doc Stewart's Baseball here on The Score.
I will keep my temper. I will keep myself fit. I will keep a stout heart.
The Roseburg Dr. Stewarts are the designated visiting team in the matchup, and a coin toss. The Docs lost the flip, and they will be the visiting team. Head coach Eric Savage, in his second year leading the Doc Stewarts, has him at a 25-17-1 overall record after finishing second in Area 4 behind the Eugene Challengers. Leading things off for the Docs will be Paxton Burke, the center fielder. Brooks Avery, the shortstop, will bat second. Cal Robbins, the catcher, batting third. Dane St. Clair in left field will bat cleanup. Jake Johnson at first base is batting fifth, followed by Daniel Withers at third base. In right field, batting seventh is Brevin Harrison. Taj Flora will DH for the Doc Stewarts today. He'll bat eighth for starting pitcher Drew Camp. And Logan Anderson will get the start at second base, and he'll round out the starting 9 for your Roseburg Dr. Stewarts. They will get a chance to see a familiar arm on the mound. It'll be Caden Richardson that'll be throwing for Eugene. The Docs and Challengers squared off 4 times during the regular season, with the two teams splitting those matchups. Caden Richardson threw 12 innings of the 27 between the two teams. So the Docs have seen quite a bit of him. He ended up going 1-1 in 2 starts against the Docs. He allowed 14 hits, 10 runs, 8 of them earned, 5 walks, 7 strikeouts, 1 hit batter. He had a 4.66 ERA against the Roseburg Dr. Stewarts. He'll be on the mound. Caden Richardson, the right-hander, hailing from Pleasant Hill High School. Class of 2024, a first-team All-State pitcher, and he is headed to Lynn Benton Community College next year. His defense around him will be Caden Gould back behind the plate. As we look around the diamond defensively, Aiden Hazen out at first, Easton McDonald at second. On the left side of the diamond, it's Aiden Hibbler at third and Brock Johnson at short. In the outfield from left to right, you've got Grady Saunders, Peyton Tyner, and Kyle Miller. That's a look at your Cooper's Pest Control starting lineup for this matchup. When you're looking to build the best defense, call Cooper's Pest Control to protect your home from those summer bugs. Cooper's Pest Control, your locally owned bug assassins. Call them at 673-0363. The leadoff man is Paxton Burke. The switch hitter takes outside for ball 1, and we are underway here in this ball game. Burke, 1-0 pitch. Misses inside to him from Richardson. Docs looking to try and get a hot start in this one as they try to keep their season going for another day. Burke takes high, a 3-0 count. Paxton Burke only played in 2 of the 4 games against Eugene this season. Wasn't with the team early as he takes a pitch right down the middle for a strike from Richardson. Burke comes into today batting .337 at a pair of triples yesterday in that must-win game against Grants Pass. He fouls off a pitch and stays alive. He's got himself a 3-2 count. The 3-2 pitch, line drive, caught at shortstop, out of the air, snagged there by Brock Johnson. A line drive that started tailing towards left field, and it was secured by the shortstop for the first out. A leaping grab to get to that ball, and Brock Johnson will make the first out defensively for the Challengers. One away. It'll be Brooks Avery up to bat. Avery on the summer batting at .364. First pitch, a breaking ball, cuts in for a strike. Beautiful sunny day here. Yesterday was kind of muggy. We had clouds all day long. As Avery will pop one up. Foul territory, first base side. Playable over there for Hazen. First baseman with plenty of space makes the catch. 2 down for the Doc Stewarts.
Catcher number 24.
And that'll bring up Cal Robbins, the starting catcher for the Doc Stewarts, for a third consecutive game. Cal batting in the cleanup spot. Yesterday, Robbins had a double and a walk. Swings at the first pitch, hits it foul down the third base side for strike one. So there's plenty of sunshine overhead. Temperatures in the 80s here today. Plenty of folks in shorts and T-shirts. On a beautiful day for baseball, we will be playing underneath the lights eventually. Pitch low, 1-1 count for Robbins. 81 degrees here, sunset coming up in, well, maybe 2.5 hours. Maybe we'll get the lights on. I would assume so. Swing and a miss for strike two. With nobody on base, 2 down, a 1-ball, 2-strike pitch coming up here for Richardson. He'll miss low and inside against Robbins. Cal trying to get something started for the Doc Stewarts here in the top of the first inning. The 2-2 pitch, high and inside, full count. Doc Stewart's going with the black uniform tops, gray trousers, blue socks once again here today. Repeat of yesterday's combo, 3-2. Cal got in on the handle a bit, doesn't get a lot behind this one as he sails one high to center field. Plenty of time for Peyton Tyner as he waits for the ball to come down and makes the catch for the final out. A 1-2-3 top of the first inning for the Doc Stewarts. And we will go to the bottom of the first inning, scoreless, with Eugene coming up to bat. We'll take a look at their starting lineup when we return on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in our backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.com.
Bottom of the first inning in a scoreless ball game in Eugene. Leading things off for Kenny Niles and the Eugene Challengers. It'll be Easton McDonald, the second baseman. Brock Johnson, the shortstop, batting second. In left field, Grady Saunders will bat third. Eli Chris, the DH, batting cleanup for the starting pitcher for Caden Richardson. Peyton Tyner, the center fielder, batting fifth. Aiden Hazen is the first baseman. He'll bat sixth. Starting at third base, batting seventh, Aiden Hibbler. The catcher, Caden Gould, batting eighth. And Kyle Miller, the right fielder, will round out the starting nine. It'll be left-hander Drew Kemp on the mound for the Doc Stewarts here today. First pitch, grounded left side, playable for Brooks Avery. Toss across the diamond is high, and on safely will be McDonald. Brooks Avery at shortstop has had a couple of high throws across the diamond throughout this tournament. So far, they hadn't really come back to get him. He's been able to get it there in time for the first baseman to get back to the bag, but that time Johnson not able to get back down. And on safely is McDonald with an error for the Doc Stewarts to start. First pitch outside, ball 1 to Brock Johnson, the shortstop. Will stand in with 1 on and nobody out here in the bottom of the first. Drew Camp, pickoff throw to first, out at first base. McDonald had taken a step towards second, but then rushes back to the bag in time. Drew Camp making his 6th start of the summer. He's pitched 29 in the 3rd innings. He misses outside, a 2-0 count. This summer, Drew has a 3-1 win-loss record, a 2.86 ERA, 30 strikeouts, 11 walks. The southpaw from South Umpqua, hit and run on that ball, laced into right field, and it'll put runners on the corners as Brevin Harrison sends the ball back in. Brock Johnson will have the first hit of the ball game. Goes opposite field on a hit and run, just looking to make contact, and he pokes it through. Found exactly the right spot to go with that one, and it puts runners on the corners with nobody out for the challengers. Doc Stewart's up against it here early in the first, trying to not let things get out of control. The challengers, obviously a good team and the only undefeated team left in the tournament, so you don't want them playing with momentum throughout the contest. Grady Saunders, the left fielder, will bat. Camp just out off the edge, a 1-0 count. Back behind the plate, Cal Robbins catching for the Doc Stewarts. Jake Johnson at first, Logan Anderson at second. Left side of the diamond, you've got Daniel Withers at third, Brooks Avery at short. The 1-0 pitch catches the outside corner, 1-1. In the outfield from left to right, Dane St. Clair, Paxton Burke, and Brevin Harrison out there defensively for the Doc Stewarts here today. A 1-1 pitch to Saunders. Low and inside, it gets by Robbins. He'll have to chase it down. A run will score. Looking for, nope, holding at second base will be Johnson. He looked at initially like he might try to go an extra base. Wild pitch will bring in the first run of the ball game. It's 1-0. The challengers are in front. Runner at second with nobody out. A 2-1 count here for Saunders. Starting lineup there for both teams here in the bottom of the first. Brought to you by Cooper's Pest Control. When you're looking for the best defense, call Cooper's Pest Control to protect your home from those summer bugs. Cooper's Pest Control, your locally owned bug assassins. Call them at 673-0363. 2-1 pitch to Saunders. Low and inside, and they have to go around the hitter. Robbins will get to the baseball, but quickly Brock Johnson moves up to third. It's another wild pitch to put a runner now 90 feet from home, and the count goes to 3-1. And Cal Robbins will take another trip out to the mound for a visit with Drew Camp. Grady Saunders, the 3-hitter in the lineup card. Out of Thurston, first-team All-State pitcher, 5A pitcher of the year, heading to Oregon State University. He's got a chance to try and drive in another run here with a man at third and nobody out. Gets around on one, hits it high in the air to left field. That ball well struck. Won't make it to the warning track, but it was down the line, and St. Clair was playing more towards the alley in left field, and Saunders will have a double. And it's 2-0, Eugene in front. Not the start the Docs were hoping for Drew Camp out on the mound. A man at second with nobody out. And it's 2-0 as the cleanup man, Eli Christ, will come up to bat. Christ also out of Thurston High School. Been a strong baseball program through the years here recently. He will stand in for the first pitch of the at-bat. He takes a little low outside, 1-0 count to start. Drew Camp on the mound. This is the second time he has pitched against Eugene. He threw 7 innings, picking up a win and a start earlier. Did allow 3 earned runs, 4 runs total, 7 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, and 1 hit batter, but he did end up getting the win as they look back to second, no throw. So a 2-0 deficit. No, it's not insurmountable, especially here early on. It's Drew Camp. Fires in. Ooh, missing low, and the count goes to 2-0. Pitch didn't look off by much there for Drew. The lefty trying to get a first out here. So far, an error to start off the ball game. Set the tone for the challengers here in the first. They've gotten the first 3 guys on base. A 2-0 pitch for Camp. Gets a ball popped up, foul territory. Jake will chase, but runs out of room. That'll be strike 1 against the cleanup hitter. The challengers coming off of an 11-4 win over the Barbers last night in a battle of the unbeatens. Eugene scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th and 4 in the bottom of the 6th as they were able to break a 4-4 tie and pull away for the win. A 2-1 pitch here to Christ. Takes a slow breaking ball on the outside corner for a called strike. Christ yesterday had a pair of hits in that win against the Barbers, who were eliminated earlier today. He stands in here with a runner at second base and nobody out. A 2-2 pitch coming up from Camp, and Camp will miss low as the count goes full. Christ will step out of the box. Already a little bit of activity going in the bullpen for Roseburg. No room for error, so they are looking to make sure they don't fall too far behind in this one. A 3-2 pitch for Camp. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. And Christ ready to head to first will instead saunter back to the dugout after taking the strikeout. Eli Christ down on strikes. First strikeout in the ballgame for Drew Camp. And Camp will have his first Mountain Mike's Pizza strikeout of the game. Don't swing and miss with dinner tonight. Stop by Mountain Mike's at the corner of Bellows and Harvard in Roseburg. Mountain Mike's Pizza, the way it ought to be. 1 away, Peyton Tyner, the center fielder, bats left-handed. Out of the stretch for Camp. He fires in and misses high for ball 1. Trying to get some velo on that one and misses his spot. Peyton Tyner, starting center fielder out of Marist High School. A 1-0 pitch to him, again high. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Tyner, first-team All-State outfielder for the Spartans, class of 2024. 2-0 delivery here in the bottom of the first. Already 2-0 Eugene in front. Camp does catch the outside corner to get back into the at-bat. 2 balls and a strike. Nice crowd, of course, showing up for the home team as expected. Doc Stewart's on the third base side. Decent crowd showing up here on a weeknight game. 2-1 is well outside. Count goes 3-1 for Camp. Great to see the fans showing up to root on the team here late in the state tournament. Into day 4 of the action here in Eugene. 3-1 pitch. Chopped at it, pops it up left side. Dane St. Clair looking up into the bright afternoon sun and sky, and he makes the catch in left field, 2 down. Could have been the end of the inning if not for a leadoff error to start this first inning off that has resulted in a run. Docs could have possibly minimized some damage, but they'll look to try and get through things, only giving up the 2 runs as they'll face Aiden Hazen. The first baseman stands in, big-bodied guy, as first basemen typically are. He will try to keep things going with a man at second base and 2 down. First pitch is popped up, shallow center field, going out. Brooks Avery calling everyone off, will make the catch, and Avery is there to finish things off. Doc Stewart's will get through this first inning, minimizing the damage. Camp leaves a man stranded at second. 2 runs come in for the challengers on 2 hits, 1 Doc's error, 1 man left on. We will go to the top of the second. Docs with some work to do here on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
It's time to get your game on with Mountain Mike's oven roasted chicken wings. They're meaty, juicy, in 4 bold sauces ready to tempt your taste buds. And they're hand sauced and tossed for every order. It's game on with Mountain Mike's Pizza oven roasted chicken wings. Get your wings today. Order online or on our app for carryout or delivery.
Left fielder, number 21, Dane St. Clair.
Left-hander Dane St. Clair will stand in to start things off for the Doc Stewarts here in the second inning. 1-0 pitch. He'll line towards center field. It'll drop in front of Peyton Tyner. He gets it back in quickly after fielding the short hop, and Dane St. Clair leads off things here in the second inning with a base hit. First hit of the game for the Doc Stewarts. It's always brought to you by MSK True Value and Building Supply. Make sure your summer projects are a hit with a stop by the MSK family of stores in Myrtle Creek and Tri-City. Dane was hitting well in the regular season before an injury kept him out the final few games, but he has picked it up here in the state tournament. As he has gotten back into the lineup, he has been doing well. Dane St. Clair came in batting .398 into this ball game. Jake Johnson will bat here with one on and nobody out. He hits a line drive to left field, and the Docs will have a couple of base hits to start things here in the second as they look to fight their way back from a 2-0 deficit. Up to second base goes St. Clair. The Doc Stewarts have runners at first and second, nobody out, and it is Daniel Withers batting. Withers on the summer, 240 hitter. Hit one hard off the left field fence in yesterday's win over Grants Pass. Lined it off the top of the fence in left field. Probably missed a home run by a couple of feet. Stands in looking to try and do some damage here with runners at first and second. A pickoff throw to second. They're going to get Dane out there. What a pickoff move by Richardson. And that'll be the first out of the inning, and it clears off the runner at second base. Dane St. Clair picked off. One away. Now Daniel Withers. They're going to pick off throw to first. Caden Richardson on the mound. Frustrated he gives up back-to-back hits to start off the inning. He says, I'll just get you while you're on the bases. Withers will take a breaking ball for a strike. 0-1 count to start off here for the Docs' 6-hitter. Well, they had some positive momentum going. Let's see if they can pick it back up after that pickoff throw. The 0-1 pitch to Withers, another breaking ball for a strike. Catching the inside corner, Withers steps out for a moment. Back into the box with an 0-2 count at first base, Jake Johnson. Got around on it. That ball towards the alley will get down, and the Docs, if not for that pickoff, would have the bases loaded. That is got to be a bit frustrating down in the dugout for the Stewies, but they keep things going here in the second inning. Third consecutive hit for Roseburg. Runners again at first and second, just one out. And they will have up to bat Brevin Harrison, the right fielder. Brevin has been swinging pretty well this summer. Brevin .340, his batting average coming into the matchup. Again, an RBI opportunity for the Docs as they trail 2-0. Pitch outside, a 1-0 count. So quite a way to start things off here in the second inning for Roseburg. They're going to need offense. Seeing the bats going early is probably going to help. Ball high in the air, out towards left field. Well struck by Harrison. Out towards the alley. It'll get down. Jake is heading around third. Heading into third will go Withers. Jake Johnson will score. No throw. And Jake Johnson will get the Docs on the board on a double by Brevin Harrison. That makes that pickoff throw sting just even more. As Brevin Harrison, a double, drives in one. He got that one up into the jet stream. The wind has been blowing out throughout this tournament. And the Docs will get on the board. That is 4 consecutive hits that will score. First pitch swinging away. That ball fouled off by Taj Flora. So you've got runners at second and third. Taj Flora up to bat with just one out. An 0-1 pitch from Richardson. Swung on and just got a piece of it. Fouled it off there for Taj. And he's down 0-2 in the at-bat. Now the Docs on the board after 4 consecutive hits to start things here in the second. The 0-2 pitch from Richardson. Check swing. And it misses off the edge, a 1-2 count. So Flores stays alive on a pitch that did not miss by much, and he almost could have been rung up on a check swing. 1-2 delivery. That pitch bounces outside to even things up. On the bases right now, Daniel Withers at third, Brevin Harrison at second. Solid speed on the bases. Right now the wind is kind of blowing out towards right field, but not blowing hard at the moment. 2-2 pitch. Outside. Fastball carries away from the right-handed hitter, and Flora fights his way back to a full count. First base is open. 9-hitter Logan Anderson waiting on deck. Got around on the pitch, grounded towards third. The throw will go to first. It will get Taj, but the Docs will tie it up as coming in to score is Daniel Withers. At third base, Aiden Hibbler thought about throwing home, held on to the baseball, hesitated, then decides he's just going to take the out at first. So it's an RBI ground out for Taj Flora, and the Doc Stewarts have tied this one up here in the second. It'll go down as a 5-3 RBI ground out for Taj. Brevin Harrison stays at second. Doc Stewarts get this one evened up and a visit out to the mound. They're already going to make a pitching change. Caden Richardson, 29 pitches into the ball game, and they may be looking to utilize a number of different arms, knowing that they are already into the championship matchup tomorrow. They want to try and make sure they don't spend anybody too much here today, and so the challengers will go to the bullpen. They make a change in a tie ball game, 2-2 with 2 away. The 9-hitter Logan Anderson coming up with a man at second base here in the top of the second. We'll come back after a 1-minute timeout on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
This broadcast of Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball is brought to you locally by Barnes Heating and Cooling, Cascade Community Credit Union, DC Farmers Co-op, Dr. Alanson Randall, Travel Leaders Flyaway Travel. Tune in throughout the summer for Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
A short leash for the Eugene Challengers. Caden Richardson out after an inning and 2/3. He so far has given up 2 runs on 4 hits, no walks, no strikeouts. And it is a tie ball game, 2-2 here in the top of the second. New man up will be Jaden Lucas pitching. He'll face off against Logan Anderson. Lucas is a lefty out of Junction City High School. First time the Docs will see him this summer. His first pitch to Logan Anderson, outside, ball 1. Go-ahead run out at second base for the Doc Stewarts. That's Brevin Harrison, who drove in the first run of the game for the Docs on a double to left center. Runs driven home are brought to you by Neal Company Real Estate. If you wish your drive home was taking you to a house with more rooms, a bigger yard, or a walk-in closet, check out Neal Company Real Estate at nealco.com for the latest listings around Douglas County. 2-0 count now for Anderson, the 9-hitter in the lineup for the Doc Stewarts. Looking to try and send it back to the top of the order. Paxton Burke waits on deck. The on-deck hitter brought to you by Evergreen Family Medicine. Expect the unexpected at Evergreen Family Medicine, serving Roseburg, Myrtle Creek, and Sutherland. Evergreen offers more than traditional primary care. You can always expect more from Evergreen. 3-0 count as Anderson watches a pitch come in high from the lefty. Lucas, the 3-0 pitch, does get the strike. And it's a 3-1 count. 2 away with Brevin Harrison out at second base. Paxton Burke on deck. We mentioned him earlier. He led off the game with a line drive that was snagged out of the air. Having a leap to get to it, Brock Johnson made that first out. Swing and a miss on the 3-1 pitch, and Anderson will have a full count. Logan Anderson looking to get his bat going. Went hitless yesterday in the win over Grants Pass. Put the ball in play every time. He's looking to try and do so here, see if he can make something happen. His 3-2 pitch. Swings through it for strike 3. And coming out of the bullpen, Jaden Lucas is going to be able to get the first strikeout of the game for the Challengers, and he gets Eugene through the second inning. Doc Stewarts will get 2 runs on 4 hits. No errors for the Challengers. 1 man left on base. Tie ball game as we go to the bottom of the second inning here on 541radio.com and on the Score. 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Looking for a great lunch and great value with endless options for everyone? Then hurry over to Mountain Mike's Pizza for our all-you-can-eat lunch buffet. For one low price, you can choose from a variety of signature and specialty hot and delicious pizzas. Then build your own salad your way with a wide selection of fresh vegetables, toppings, and dressings with as little or as much as you want. Mountain Mike's Weekday Lunch Buffet. It's lunch and salad bar the way it ought to be.
This broadcast of Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball is brought to you locally by Fisher's Hearth and Home, Chuck Swarm and Family Auto Repair, Roseburg Disposal, Southern Septic, Evergreen Family Medicine. Tune in throughout the summer for Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Drew Camp on the mound for the second inning as he will fire in the first pitch. Swinging away is third baseman Aiden Hibbler. He'll foul it off for strike 1. Today's ball game brought to you by Barnes Heating and Cooling, your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or call them at 541-459-1545. 0-1 pitch. That will cut in towards the right-handed hitter and got him on the foot. Hibbler will head on down to first base. And Campbell being a batter for the first time here today. So they got a runner on with nobody out. The Challengers got a runner on in the first inning on an error. Now a hit batter will put the leadoff man on base. So the Challengers trying to take advantage of these miscues by the Docs so far. They were able to get 2 in the first. Camp will deliver. It's outside for ball 1. At the plate, Caden Gould showed a bunt. Pulled it back. Yesterday, Gould, 4 RBI in the win over the Barbers. Did have a double yesterday. The 1-0 pitch to him. He fouls that one back. Well, Doc Stewart's in a must-win situation here. Good to see them respond after giving up the 2 runs in the first. Got 2 back in the second. Showing a bunt again is Gould. That pulls in Withers at third. Ball popped up foul. He tried to slap at that one. He showed the bunt, pulled it back, makes the chop at it, and the ball fouled away. So that makes it a 1-2 count here for Camp, who is looking to get an out here and then maybe make it a quick inning with a double play if he could. A 1-2 pitch. He'll pick off to first. Won't get it there in time. Live video coverage of today's ball game has been brought to you by the Cow Creek Tribe. Appreciate their sponsorship of our live video simulcast of Docs Baseball here on The Score. 1-2 pitch, high and away. Back behind the plate, Cal Robbins made a look down to first as if he was considering a back pick that direction. Hibbler was quite a ways off the bag, doesn't make the throw. A 2-2 pitch. Ooh. Another bit like a slider there, cutting back towards the hitter. Came in right around the knees, must have been a bit low. And Camp finds himself behind, or actually at a 3-2 count here. He will deliver to the plate with the runner going. They had the hit and run on. Logan Anderson makes the adjustment. They'll get the out at first. So good defense there for the Docs on the infield as Logan Anderson able to get back to his spot and make that play on the hit and run. Gould almost snuck that one through the right side. One away. Hibbler with that hit and run stays out of a double play. And so that'll bring up the 9-hitter Kyle Miller with a man at second and one out. The 9-hitter up for the first time in the ballgame against Camp. Swings away, hits a ball in the air out towards center field. It's playable for Paxton Burke. Makes the catch towards the alley in left center. And Miller on the first pitch flies out. 2 down. Top of the order will come up. Easton McDonald reached on an error his first time up and eventually came around to score on a wild pitch. The lefty will stand in for a second time against the lefty Drew Camp, and Docs need one more out to keep this ball game tied and get through the second inning. Camp's first pitch is a little upstairs. Doc Stewart's trying to break through that ceiling that has been on him the last number of years. Here in the fourth day of the tournament for a fourth consecutive year. Or fourth consecutive season, I should say, as a breaking ball missing outside. 2-0 count for McDonald. Docs have not been able to get to Wednesday, the final day of the tournament. Trying to get there. They would have to win twice tomorrow, but they just want a shot at it. Trying to be one of the final 3 teams alive in the postseason. The 2-0 pitch catches the top of the zone, a 2-1 count. If the Docs do win, they would have to get through Mid-Valley tomorrow, and then they would have a rematch with Eugene for the state championship. If Eugene wins, Mid-Valley would have to beat the Challengers twice tomorrow to win the state title. Pickoff throw to second base. Quick tag on the helmet there by Logan Anderson, but not in time. Back to the bag goes Hibbler. 2-1 count. Second baseman Easton McDonald at the plate with 2 away. Hits a grounder towards short. Takes a high hop late on Brooks Avery, but he'll field it cleanly. And this time around, Brooks makes a clean throw to first for the final out. That'll wrap up things here in the second inning. Doc Stewart's keep this one tied as we will head to the top of the third. No runs, no hits, there were no errors, and 1 man left on for the Challengers. 2-2 as we go to the third inning on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Cast of Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball is brought to you locally by MSK True Value, DR Johnson Lumber, and Umpqua Valley Fire Services.
Turn your home into your dream sanctuary with help from Douglas County Farmers Co-op. For over 100 years, we've carried everything you need to keep your garden and crops green and growing, including a large selection of soil mixes, composts, fertilizers, and other soil amendments. You'll also find stones, boulders, gravel, and more to add structure and diversity to your yard. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Hold on to your taste buds because the heat is on. Introducing Mountain Mike's new jalapeno nut nuts. For limited time, they're just $5.99. Order online or on our app for dine-in, carry-out, or delivery.
Top of the order coming up for the Roseburg Dr. Stewarts. It is Paxton Burke leading things off. He had me confused for a moment because he was standing in at bat right-handed, and then I remembered we got a lefty on the mound. The switch hitter, first pitch swinging, pops this one towards shortstop. It's playable for Johnson. Waits quite a while for that ball to come down, and Brock Johnson has gotten Paxton Burke twice in this one. There's one away. That brings up Brooks Avery. Avery fouled out in the first inning, a pop fly to the first baseman. Looking for his first hit of the day. Yesterday, Avery was 2 for 3. Reached base all 4 times. Takes for ball 1 inside from the new man on the mound, Jaden Lucas. Lucas threw 35 pitches in the tournament back on Saturday. Gets one grounded towards short. Playable again for Johnson. Quick throw across the diamond, 2 down. And now the Dak Stewarts will look to Cal Robbins to try and get something started once again. The first inning was a 1-2-3 frame for the Challengers defensively. They're looking to try and repeat that here in the third. The bottom 2/3 of the lineup that did the damage in the second inning for the Docs. The first pitch is fouled away. Cal Robbins flew out to center field his last time up. Had gotten jammed a bit. It was off the handle. Didn't get the barrel on it. He'll look to try and square one up here and see if he can power things around. On the season for Cal, batting .313. Takes a strike. Cal with 9 extra base hits, 8 doubles, leads the team. He's got an 0-2 count here, looking to defend the plate. Lucas gets him to swing, hits one right side. That ball drops in, and that is a base knock for Cal. And he will keep this third inning going as the Doc Stewarts in a 2-2 ball game, trying to see if they can rally and take a lead here on top of the Challengers. So that'll be the 5th hit in the ball game for the Docs, and it brings up Dane St. Clair, who started things back in the second inning with the first hit of the game for the Docs. First hit always brought to you by MSK True Value. He swings away, grounds one third base side, picked up by Hibbler, throw across, and able to stay on the bag is Hazen at first. That ball, little nubber there for Dane St. Clair, and Jaden Lucas is able to pitch the Challengers through the third inning and keep this ball game tied. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the third. It's still 2-2 here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM at 1490 AM.
Johnson Lumber Company, a forward-thinking family company, has been operating in the Douglas County community for over 60 years. Founded by Don R. Johnson, the man who set the tone of commitment to these local communities by providing stable, long-term employment. D.R. Johnson Lumber Company understands the significance of investing in our youth because they are the foundation of our future. That's why they're a proud supporter of Roseburg Doc Stewarts. Come watch the Docs swing some lumber with D.R. Johnson Lumber Company. Go Docs!
This broadcast of Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball is brought to you locally by Neal Company Real Estate, American Family Insurance, Champion Car Wash, Cooper's Pest Control, Mountain Mike's Pizza. Tune in throughout the summer for Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Now batting for your Challengers, shortstop number 1, Brock Johnson.
Brock Johnson, Grady Saunders, and Eli Christ up to bat. The 2-3-4 hitters here for the Challengers. Heart of the lineup, always brought to you by American Family Insurance. They're at the heart of it all. When life hands you a tough road or you just want to be prepared, turn to Lynette McAllister for all of your insurance needs. First pitch called strike 1 to Brock Johnson, who singled to right field back in the first on a hit and run. Faces Drew Camp for a second time. The 0-1 pitch he takes for ball 1, showing a bunt with his pencil-designed baseball bat. The end of the bat looks like the eraser on a number 2 Ticonderoga. outside, a 2-1 count. Seen that a couple of times in some places. I feel like college ball is probably where I've seen it, since it's probably a metal bat, and you don't see that in the majors. 2-1 pitch, swung on and missed by Johnson. Brock Johnson out of Thurston, class of 2026, will be back for his junior year with the Colts next year. 2-2 count here for Camp. He kicks and fires in, will miss high. Count goes full. Full count pitch here to the leadoff man. Leadoff guy has gotten on base every inning for the Challengers so far. In this one, Camp's 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Another strikeout looking for Drew as he gets his second strikeout in the ballgame. One away. That'll break the trend for Eugene. Leadoff man down on strikes. Brings up the 3-hitter. Grady Saunders had an RBI double to left field back in the first inning. Bats with nobody on and 1 out. Camp gets him to fly one in the air out towards right center. Long run for everybody. It'll be Burke that calls off Harrison. They both lose their ball caps. The good thing is neither lost the baseball, and it's Burke, the center fielder, that tracks it down. 2 away. That'll bring up Eli Christ, who was the first strikeout victim for Drew Camp back in the first inning. Drew looking to try and get through another clean half inning. 2-2 ball game here in the bottom of the third. Docs, the designated visiting team in the matchup, in a must-win situation. Pitch high, ball 1. Today's ball game brought to you by Dr. Alanson Randall, Family and Cosmetic Dentistry. Visit drrandall.com or call him at 541-378-6694. Ground ball, routine to shortstop. Easy toss by Avery. And it's a 1-2-3 frame for Drew Camp and the Roseburg defense. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. We will head to the top of the fourth inning here in the ball game, tied at 2 on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Roseburg Doc Stewart's American Legion Baseball this summer has been brought to you by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? Doc Stewart's in a tie ball game 2-2 against the Eugene Challengers, the only undefeated team left in the state tournament. First pitch to Jake Johnson, high and away, ball 1. Challengers will play tomorrow no matter the outcome of this ball game. They want to stay the only undefeated team in the tournament. As ball fouled back by Jake, who is 1 for 1 in the game with a single to left field his first time up. Eventually scored the first run of the game for the Docs. It's got a 1-1 count. He's facing the pitcher, Jaden Lucas, the lefty, for the first time. Lucas came in and faced the bottom of the order and has now been working his way through the lineup for the first time. Misses high and away, a 2-1 count. The 2-1 pitch from the lefty Lucas. Works it over the plate at the knees for a called strike. Challengers won the state tournament 2 years ago. Barbers, our state champions last year, have been eliminated as Jake will pop one up right side. Playable out there for Kyle Miller in right field. Makes the grab, 1 away. Daniel Withers will come up to bat next for the Stewies.
Now batting
Portland Barbers, the defending state champs, making it to day 4, but falling short of getting back to Championship Wednesday. They lost earlier today 6-5 against the Mid-Valley Southpaws. They gave a valiant effort rallying back in that one, but fell short. They had the game-tying run at second base in the 7th inning, but could not bring them around. Ended the game on a strikeout. 1-0 pitch here to Withers. He takes a strike, a 1-1 count. Daniel had a base hit in the 2nd inning. All of the Docs hits so far, well, excuse me, all but one have come against Caden Richardson. Jaden Lucas gave up a single in the 3rd, but that was it. He gets Withers to fly this one high in the air right side. Ditching the ball cap, Miller will make another put out in right. Back-to-back flyouts to right field for the Stewies. And with 2 down, it'll bring up Brevin Harrison. Brevin had the RBI double back in the 2nd inning, helping the Docs tie this one up. He'll look to try and get a 2-out rally started. It was Cal Robbins with a 2-out single in the 3rd inning for the first hit against Jaden Lucas. Lucas will hit the outside corner, called strike 1 against Brevin. Docs have at least been putting things in play so far. The 0-1 pitch. Brevin gets underneath another one high in the air to left field. Grady Saunders out there has a read on it, and he will make the catch. Brevin got around on that one, hit it pretty well, but didn't quite hit it on the screws, and the Docs go down in order in the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning, still tied at 2 here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.com.
Leading off for the Challengers, their center fielder, number 6, Peyton Tyner.
Peyton Tyner leads things off for Eugene. He hacks away at the first pitch and will foul it out towards the Doc Stewart's bullpen down the left field line for strike 1. As we welcome you back here to Sweet Johnson Stadium, where we have a tie ball game between Roseburg and Eugene and an elimination game for the Doc Stewarts. Ball drops on the inside corner for a called strike 2 for Drew Camp, who is looking to keep this game where it's at a 2-2 ball game. Camp working into his 4th inning. First start of the postseason for him. The 0-2 outside. Docs have been doing what they can to try and manage their bullpen and make sure they've got arms available. If they can make it to tomorrow, they will have a few guys available for them that will be getting back to being available after having their requisite rest time. Swing and a miss for Peyton Tyner. 3rd strikeout in the game for Drew Camp, and he gets the first out here in the 4th inning. 1 away, nobody on. Aiden Hazen will bat. He's 0 for 1. Docs do have some activity in their bullpen. They've had it going on for a while. Just trying to probably make sure they've got somebody ready if needed. As a pitch misses, Hazen, 1-0 count. It looks like it is Camden Hartzell out there that's been throwing. Ground ball foul down the third base side for strike 1 to Hazen. Coverage of Doc Stewart's baseball has been brought to you by Flyaway Travel. Contact the travel experts at Travel Leader Flyaway Travel. Make sure that you have an agent in your corner. Call 541-672-5701. The 1-1 hits the inside corner just above the knees for a called strike 2. Hazen falls behind, a ball and 2 strikes against him. Camp sets up on the mound, working out of the stretch, kicks and fires. Ground ball again, hit foul, and it stays a 1-2 count. Camp needs one more to get Hazen here. Aiden Hibbler, the third baseman, waits on deck. 1-2 delivery here for Camp. Oh, I don't know where that pitch missed. It goes to a 2-2. That ball was on the outside corner. Must have just been low against Hazen. He'll step back in with the 2-2 pitch coming from Camp. Camp misses further outside this time, and it will go to a full count. Aiden Hazen, starting first baseman for the Challengers out of Marist High School. 3-2 pitch to him, and he will draw a walk. So a walk issued to Hazen, a 1-out free pass. First walk of the game for Drew Camp. Might have been a bit frustrating for him there, and Logan Anderson will head out to the mound to have a brief conference. They could be trying to settle in Drew. Might also be talking about their pickoff strategy at second base with a man on at first now. Brings up Aiden Hibbler, who reached on a hit by pitch in the second inning. Hibbler took a breaking ball from the lefty off the foot, got himself on base, but was left stranded at second. Swings away at the first pitch for strike 1. Drew Camp trying to keep the Docs in this one, pitch another clean frame. The 0-1 pitch. There is a strike called. Maybe that ball a little bit up, a little bit closer to the zone than the one that I thought should have been strike 3 in the at-bat against Hazen, but it is what it is on the strike zone there. The 0-2 pitch misses inside, and Robbins will have to chase down the baseball and a runner up to second. 1-2 count for Hibbler, and that'll be let's say a wild pitch there, or I mean a pass ball there for Aiden Hazen to get through. That ball hit the glove, didn't hit the dirt, but Robbins couldn't quite get it into the webbing of the catcher's glove. That one, no problem into the glove, as it's a swing and a miss by Hibbler. He goes down for strike 3. 2 down, 4 punch-outs in this one for Drew Camp. Strikeouts by Doc's pitchers are brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza. Don't swing and miss with dinner tonight. Stop by Mountain Mike's at the corner of Bellows and Harvard in Roseburg. Mountain Mike's Pizza, the way it ought to be. So 2 down, Caden Gould will bat. He grounded out to second his last time up on what was a hit and run. He pops this one in the air. Could be playable for Cal Robbins. The catcher loses the mask, makes the catch in foul territory, and the Doc Stewarts will finish things off here in the 4th inning as Gould will foul out. Catcher to catcher on that one. Here in the 4th inning, no runs, there were no hits, there were no errors, and 1 man left on base. A couple of runs early for both teams, and it's been scoreless ever since. We go to the top of the 5th inning here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
It's time to get your game on with Mountain Mike's oven roasted chicken wings. They're meaty, juicy, in 4 bold sauces ready to tempt your taste buds. And they're hand sauced and tossed for every order. It's game on with Mountain Mike's Pizza oven roasted chicken wings. Get your wings today. Order online or on our app for carryout or delivery.
Let's take a look at our D.R. Johnson Lumber Company scoreboard update as we start out the 5th inning. For your Roseburg Dr. Stewart's, 2 runs on 5 hits, 1 error. And the Docs have left 2 men on base. For the Challengers in this one, 2 runs on 2 hits. They have not committed an error, and they've left 3 men on base. D.R. Johnson Lumber Company, a progressive family-owned company, proudly supporting our local youth. Come on out and watch the Docs swing some lumber. D.R. Johnson, making lumber since 1951. It will be Taj Flora to lead things off for the Docs here in the 5th inning. The pitch from the lefty, Jaden Lucas, is low and outside for ball 1. Taj, an RBI ground out in the 2nd inning. That tied the ball game up for the Docs. Taj yesterday had the base hit that drove in the go-ahead and what proved to be game-winning run. Swings through for a 1-1 count. Taj, a couple of base hits yesterday. His second one drove in a run in the 6th inning for the Docs, a 3-run 6th that put them in front, and they would hold off Grant's pass for the win to keep their season going. As the ball fouled back, strike 2. That eliminated Grant's pass, which was the surprise team of the tournament, making it all the way to day 4 after finishing in 5th place in Area 4. A pitch in on the hands, popped up on the infield for Flora. It'll be second baseman, who almost overplayed there for Easton McDonald. Reaching back behind his head, he makes the grab, 1 away. 9-hitter Logan Anderson will step up for the Doc Stewarts. The 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up here in the 5th inning. Docs 5 hits, but have not had a base hit since the 3rd. That was a 2-out single by Cal Robbins back in the 3rd inning. Last hit against the Challengers. Ooh. That outside corner has been a bit of a mystery at times. It called for a strike there. Logan Anderson 0-1 with 1 out, nobody on. There's the inside corner for a strike. And Anderson, who was a strikeout victim the first time around against Jaden Lucas, is behind 0-2. Lucas came in the 2nd inning, faced Logan Anderson to start out his time on the mound. His 0-2 pitch, high and inside. Logan, maybe a little bit of a struggles at the plate lately, but he's not a guy you want to let get going. He can hit, and he will reach down to try and get his gloves dirty here, and before he gets a chance to step back in, time called, and out to the mound, Justin Goldagger. Goldagger will head out to the mound, and it looks like we're going to get another pitching change. It came at 30 pitches exactly, and kind of had the feeling, at least from what head coach Eric Savage told us, we had the feeling that the Challengers would be making this a bullpen game. They are trying to staff this one up. They just need to get through this one. If they can win it, that is just kind of gravy on the fries. I don't know, something you'd put gravy on the biscuits. It would be gravy for the Challengers to win here, but they do not have to win this game. Meanwhile, the Docs do. We get a pitching change mid-at-bat for Logan Anderson. Let's go ahead and take a 1-minute timeout, and we'll come back with the conclusion of the at-bat for Logan Anderson on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
This broadcast of Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball is brought to you locally by Barnes Heating and Cooling, Cascade Community Credit Union, DC Farmers Co-op, Dr. Alanson Randall, Travel Leaders Flyaway Travel. Tune in throughout the summer for Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Now in right field for the Challengers, number 11, Aiden Hazen. And at first base, number 18, Eli Christ. Once again, now batting second baseman number 4, Logan Anderson.
Logan Anderson will step back into the box with a 1-2 count and nobody on base, one away. And the first pitch he gets from the new man on the mound, Kyle Miller, is a breaking ball in for strike 3. So that is back-to-back strikeouts in the day for Logan Anderson, and they've both been against the newest pitcher in the game. 2 down, and at the top of the order, Paxton Burke will bat. He'll step in on the left side of the plate once again. It's the right fielder, Kyle Miller, who has taken over on the mound. His first appearance in the postseason. Misses outside to the lefty for a 1-0 count. Miller also his first appearance against the Doc Stewarts. Did not face Roseburg throughout the season. He's got a 1-0 delivery here to Burke. Swung on and missed for strike 1. Miller has not thrown any pitches here in the postseason as they go with a bullpen game here for the Challengers. A 1-1 pitch to Burke. Swung on and missed again for strike 2. So Miller has come in, and one of those important things for a guy out of the bullpen, he is throwing strikes. He's got a 1-2 count against Burke, and Paxton will swing and miss. He'll head down to first, but the throw down that direction will get him. New first baseman Eli Christ is there for it. Hayden Hazen had moved to right field defensively. That is back-to-back strikeouts for Kyle Miller in on relief, and he gets through things in the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base for the Doc Stewarts in the top of the 5th. We go to the bottom half of the inning on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Looking for a great lunch and great value with endless options for everyone? Then hurry over to Mountain Mike's Pizza for our all-you-can-eat lunch buffet. For one low price, you can choose from a variety of signature and specialty hot and delicious pizzas. Then build your own salad your way with a wide selection of fresh vegetables, toppings, and dressings with as little or as much as you want. Mountain Mike's Weekday Lunch Buffet. It's lunch and salad bar the way it ought to be.
This broadcast of Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball is brought to you locally by Fisher's Hearth and Home, Chuck Swarm and Family Auto Repair, Roseburg Disposal, Southern Septic, Evergreen Family Medicine. Tune in throughout the summer for Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Well, now the pitcher for Eugene, Kyle Miller, will lead things off here in the bottom of the 5th. And the first pitch he sees, he fouls back to the netting for strike 1. Kyle Miller taking over and gets back-to-back strikeouts in his limited time on the mound in the 5th inning. Now he gets a chance to bat, and he's got the 0-1 count from Drew Camp, who is into his 5th inning of work. Camp misses outside against the 9-hitter. Miller flew out to center field his first time up. The top of the order will come up for a 3rd time for the Challengers here in the 5th inning. The 1-1 pitch from Camp misses low. 2 balls and a strike. Docs baseball this season has been brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces. High, 3-1 count now for the 9-hitter Miller. Camp trying to not let this get away from him here. His 3-1 pitch popped up, but will get into the grandstands behind the first base dugout. Actually, it'll just get beyond the grandstands off of the cage for batting practice. That makes it a 3-2 count here for the leadoff man in the 5th, Kyle Miller. 3-2 pitch for Drew Camp. Ground ball, right side. Backhanded, knocked down by Logan Anderson, but he won't be able to make a play on it. A ball up the middle, backhand. There'll be an error there for the Doc Stewarts on the infield. On the top of the order coming up to bat. Second error of the game for the Docs. Easton McDonald, he is 0 for 2 in the game, reached on an error in the 1st inning and came around to score. So leadoff runner on with an error for a 2nd time in the ball game. McDonald tries to lay down a bunt, fouls it back to the netting. Strike 1. Tie ball game, 2-2. The Challengers got 2 in the first inning. Docs got 2 in the second. And that has been our score ever since. And in what is a must-win game for Roseburg. The 0-1 pitch here to McDonald. The lefty versus lefty matchup. He squares to bunt again. The ball goes over the batter's head to the backstop. Up to second base goes Miller. And that is now a runner in scoring position on the wild pitch. So no longer a need to lay down a sac bunt for McDonald, but he might try to do it. Try and get a man to third. 1-1 count with nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth. Challengers putting some pressure on the Doc Stewarts. 1-1 delivery for Camp. Squaring to bunt, put it down third base side. Fielded, throw to first. Anderson there on the bag for the out. They do get the out, but up to third goes Miller. Sack bunt. 1 away. And now a man at third with 1 out. Doc Stewarts will have to play some tough defense here. So 1 away, and well, here comes the fat of the lineup for the Challengers. Johnson, Saunders, and Christ. Those 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up. First pitch, ground ball goes off the glove and rolls away from Brooks Avery, and the Challengers will take a lead. What a wild play. That's a base hit. Just off the glove for Camp. So Brock Johnson will pick up an RBI on that base hit, his second of the game. A little swinging infield dribbler. It's going to be a 3-2 ball game now. Eugene in front with a man at first and 1 away. Camp knocked it down, and Avery lost his footing, couldn't get that ball, and could have kept the runner on the bases. Ball fouled down the third base side. Strike 1 for Grady Saunders. They almost had what they needed to at least keep the runner from scoring, but Brooks lost his footing on the infield grass. The ball went off of Brooks's glove after it had ricocheted off of Camp's glove, and it trickled away from him and just settled on the infield dirt. And because it was kind of no man's land at that point in time, easily coming in to score was Miller. The 0-1 pitch, low, 1-1 count. So the Docs find themselves down by 1. They have not led in the ball game. Second time they've trailed in this one. They had the offense going early. They'll see if they can do anything against the third pitcher of the game for the Eugene, Kyle Miller. Ball hit left side for Saunders, drops in. Base hit. Holding at second is Brock Johnson. Back-to-back singles for the Challengers. And they've got runners at first and second with 1 out and the cleanup man coming up. Eli Chris, the first baseman, will stand in. A visit out to the mound here for pitching coach A.J. Doolittle. Doolittle will go out there to talk to Camp and to Cal Robbins. This is the third time through the lineup here for the Challengers. So these cleanup hitters are these middle-of-the-order guys. They've seen a couple of trips to the plate against Drew Camp. First time around they had success. Second time around, Camp won. Here in the third time around, the batters are winning once again. Home plate umpire will go out to break up the meeting. Eli Christ, 0 for 2 in the ball game, will step in a big moment here for the Challengers, who are looking to try and stretch things out a little bit more. They lead by 1 in the bottom of the fifth. Drew Camp, deep breath. Runners at first and second, delivers high and away. With 1 out, he's looking for something the Docs can try and roll it up with. A 1-0 delivery coming up for the lefty Camp. 1-0 pitch, bounces in front of home. The runners will go. No throw by Robbins. And the runners have been extremely aggressive on the bases for Eugene, and every time the ball has been in the dirt, they've been taking off. A wild pitch puts 2 runners in scoring position now for the Challengers. And Eli Christ, big moment here. Infield will play in, looking to cut off a run at home if they get the chance. 2-0 pitch, grounder towards third. Snagged by Withers across the diamond to Johnson, and the Docs get the defensive out they needed there. 2 down.
Center fielder, number 6, Peyton Tyner.
Withers at third, fielded that one quickly and cleanly. At third base, Brock Johnson tried to be a distraction. Withers gave him a quick look and then tossed it across to Jake at first base for the second out. The lefty Peyton Tyner will bat. Docs need one more out to get out of this 5th inning. Ground ball right side. Knocked down by Johnson, but a run scores. A second run will be coming home. And the Doc Stewarts are now down by 3. Base hit. And that is a 2-run single for Tyner on a bounding ball to first base. Jake Johnson did everything he could to try and glove that one. He would have had a tough play to make to try and get it to whoever would have been covering first for the final out. But it went off the end of his glove, trickled away from Logan Anderson, who was trying to back up the play, and that let not 1 but 2 runs to come in and score. 3 runs have come in here in the 5th inning. It's 5-2. The Challengers in front, and the Doc Stewarts are heading to the bullpen. It's going to be Camden Hartzell that'll come in for the Doc Stewarts when we come back after this 1-minute timeout here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Cast of Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball is brought to you locally by MSK True Value, DR Johnson Lumber, and Umpqua Valley Fire Services.
Turn your home into your dream sanctuary with help from Douglas County Farmers Co-op. For over 100 years, we've carried everything you need to keep your garden and crops green and growing, including a large selection of soil mixes, composts, fertilizers, and other soil amendments. You'll also find stones, boulders, gravel, and more to add structure and diversity to your yard. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Hold on to your taste buds because the heat is on. Introducing Mountain Mike's new jalapeno nut nuts. For limited time, they're just $5.99. Order online or on our app for dine-in, carry-out, or delivery.
Well, you got to give credit to Drew Camp. He did a good job of settling in after giving up 2 runs, 1 earned in the 1st inning. And he gave the Docs what they needed, eating up some innings. He'll turn it over to the bullpen, but unfortunately, the Challengers do get to him here in the 5th inning before he exits the game. And it's been a couple of kind of lucky bounces for the Challengers in this one so far. They've put up 3 runs here in the 5th inning and lead this one 5-2. So Cam Hartzell will take over. Cam making his 2nd appearance of the tournament. Came in and got 1 out through 3 pitches to get an out in his last appearance here in the tournament. He's looking to try and make it a quick outing here as well, needing just 1 out to get the Docs out of this 5th inning. He'll face Aiden Hazen with a man at first. First pitch right at the inside corner above the knees for strike 1. Aiden Hazen 0 for 1 in the game with a walk. So Camp goes 4 2/3, gives up 5 hits, right now credited with 5 runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, and 1 hit batter. 0-1 pitch, breaking ball from Hartzell, well outside. Good movement on the pitch, missed his mark though. Camp would be credited with 5 runs, but I would probably go to say that only 3 of them would be earned runs. 1-1 pitch, a little elevated there for Hartzell. And a 2-1 count. 7th hitter to the plate here in the 5th inning for Eugene. Hartzell sets the 2-1 pitch with a man at first. Runner going. Throw in for a strike. Throw down to second base. Can't get the tag down in time. Throw got there with time, but it one-hopped in. Anderson had to scoop it on the short hop and then sweep back for the tag. And it was just not quite in time. Stolen base there for Peyton Tyner. 2-2 count at the plate for Aiden Hazen. Man in scoring position. 2-2 delivery by Hartzell is fouled off. A pretty smooth-looking curveball there from Hartzell. Aiden Hazen will step back in. Hazen now playing in right field defensively. He's got that 2-2 count, protected the plate on the last one. Hartzell's pitch. Another breaking ball. Just wraps around the inside corner, and the count goes full. 3-2 pitch here, Cam trying to get through this fifth inning for the Docs. And then they've got to get the offense going, trailing by 3. 3-2 pitch. Well, the runner at second got him to foul it away. Docs baseball this summer has been brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop. Hartzell staring in to get the sign from Robbins on a big 3-2 pitch here. His 8th pitch. Breaking ball is lifted way in the air, but way foul. And that'll be, it does make its way off the roof of the kind of auto shop building it looked like down that direction. It'll stay a full count here with 2 outs and a man at second base for the Challengers. Hazen proving to be difficult here for Cam. Hartzell sets, kicks and fires, and he misses for ball 4. Couldn't get the hitter to chase the high heat. Hazen will draw his second walk in the ball game. Only man to walk in this one for the Challengers. Runners at first and second with 2 down. Aiden Hibbler 0 for 1 in the game. He struck out his last time and was hit by a pitch in the previous at-bat. Coach Kenny Niles heading to the plate, looking like he might be making a change. They're going to make a change at first base, put a pinch runner at first for Hazen. Coming in, I believe that's Jalen Riddle. It is. Jalen Riddle, the former Roseburg Doc Stewart, will run at first. That would mean that he'd be coming in defensively more than likely in the 6th inning for Eugene. Aiden Hibbler will step in. He's got runners at first and second. A pickoff throw goes to second base, goes off the glove for Anderson, and 2 runners moving up into scoring position. So that'll be a 3rd error in the ballgame for the Doc Stewarts. It's been a few small things in this ballgame that have been the difference. The Doc Stewarts with 3 errors in the contest, and the Challengers with a couple of kind of beneficial bounces on the infield here this half inning. Swing and a miss on the off speed. Strike 1 for Aiden Hibbler. He got caught reaching on the front foot with that one. 0-1 count. Docs trailing by 3, but that's not out of reach with 6 outs left to work with in this one. 0-1 pitch by Hartzell. Outside. Another run will come in. And the Doc Stewarts find themselves now down by 4. 1-1 count for Hibbler on what will be another wild pitch for the Doc Stewarts. Coming in to score was Tyner. Riddle moves up to 3rd. Hibbler at the plate with the 1-1 count and a man at 3rd with 2 down. Reaching, a couple of hops to second base, knocked down by Anderson. Throw to first, not in time, and another run scores. And this game is getting away from the Doc Stewarts here. It's a 5-run advantage now. Riddle will score. Hibbler will get on with an error. 9th hitter to the plate for the Challengers here in the 5th inning. Caden Gould, the catcher, 0 for 2 in the contest. Trying to keep this one compounding on the Doc Stewarts. First pitch, strike 1. Well, the Docs, they know what's ahead of them. They've got to get the offense going. Haven't had a hit since the 3rd. They'll have the heart of their order coming up in the 6th inning. 5-run ball game now all of a sudden here in this 5th. Ground ball, come back to the mound. Hartzell gets it. He'll trot over to first, makes the flip to Jake Johnson. And that will finish things off here in the 5th inning. But 9 hitters to the plate for Eugene, and they score 5. And they will take a 7-2 lead to the top of the 6th. Doc Stewart's, the door is not shut, but they've got to find a way to blow it back open. Trailing by 5, going to the top of the 5th and make that top of the 6th here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM at 1490 AM.
Johnson Lumber Company, a forward-thinking family company, has been operating in the Douglas County community for over 60 years. Founded by Don R. Johnson, the man who set the tone of commitment to these local communities by providing stable, long-term employment. D.R. Johnson Lumber Company understands the significance of investing in our youth because they are the foundation of our future. That's why they're a proud supporter of Roseburg Dock Stewart's. Come watch the Docks swing some lumber with D.R. Johnson Lumber Company. Go Docks!
This broadcast of Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball is brought to you locally by Neal Company Real Estate, American Family Insurance, Champion Car Wash, Cooper's Pest Control, Mountain Mike's Pizza. Tune in throughout the summer for Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
This season of Roseburg Dr. Stewart's Baseball has been brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. Kyle Miller continues to throw on the mound for the Challengers. He'll try to keep this game in favor of the home team and the host team here in the state tournament. Defensive changes here for the Challengers. Jalen Riddle out in right field after coming in as a pinch runner. First pitch to Brooks Avery is in for a strike from Miller. Kyle Miller came in the 5th inning. First pitch, or the 0-1 pitch, is lined out to center field for the first out here in the 6th. Well hit ball there by Avery, but it goes right to center fielder Peyton Tyner. One away. Cal Robbins will come up to bat. Robbins 1 for 2 in this game. One out, nobody on. Breaking ball fouled off by Robbins, 0-1 count. Jaden Lucas pitched 2 2/3 innings, gave up just 1 hit, no runs. Kyle Miller came in the 5th inning, got back-to-back strikeouts to start his time on the mound. He's got an 0-1 count here against Robbins and will miss outside with his fastball. 5-run bottom of the 5th, the difference in this one so far. Heart of the order here for the Doc Stewart's coming up, brought to you by American Family Insurance. Swinging, and a ball popped up on the infield for Robbins. It'll go to the second baseman. McDonald makes another catch on the infield. 2 away. Brings up Dane St. Clair. Dane 1 for 2 in the game, had a single back in the 2nd. And he would like to get something going here for the Doc Stewart's in the 6th, his 3rd time at the plate. Last time up, he flew out to right field. Takes the first pitch at the knees for a called strike. American Family Insurance, they're at the heart of it all when life hands you a tough road or you just want to be prepared. Turn to Lynette McAllister for all of your insurance needs. Docs scored twice back in the 2nd inning to tie up the ball game. But now they are trailing by 5 and needing offense down to their final 4 outs. For the 1-1 pitch is fouled for strike 2. 2 outs and nobody on. 1-2 pitch by Miller. And that pitch rides outside a bit to the lefty, St. Clair. Right now, the breeze is pretty subtle for us here in Eugene. Ball yesterday was flying around the ballpark. Both the Docs and Grants Pass, I think it was a combined 7 extra base hits in that one. Docs would love some of those right now. Dane St. Clair take a pitch low. He's got a full count coming up here from Kyle Miller. Dane will hit a tapper first base side, and it does go foul. So Dane will stay at the plate, a 3-2 count. No walks allowed by this Eugene pitching staff so far. Walks by the opposing pitchers are always brought to you by Umpqua Valley Fire Services. Things can get out of control quickly. That's why they provide unmatched fire safety and services, fire extinguisher and fire sprinkler services, plus much more. Visit uvfs.net to make sure you're prepared when life gets out of control. Shadows starting to creep out from behind home and down the first base side here at Sweet Johnson Stadium. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. And Kyle Miller does the job he was asked to do here in the 6th inning. A 1-2-3 inning for the Doc Stewarts at the plate. Miller will have his 3rd strikeout in relief, and the Doc Stewarts will need to try and do everything they can to keep this game within reach going to the bottom of the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, 7-2. Eugene in front of the Docs here on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with a news review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.com.
Now batting pitcher number 7, Kyle Miller.
The pitcher, Kyle Miller, takes the first pitch, strike 1 from Camden Hartzell as we start the bottom of the 6th. The 0-1 pitch ripped foul down the third base side for strike 2. Live video coverage of Doc Stewart's baseball, sponsored by the Cow Creek Tribe. Appreciate everybody tuning in and joining us throughout the season here on 541radio.com. 0-2 pitch from Hartzell, carries outside, can't get the hitter to chase. 1-2 count. Well, the Doc Stewarts will be down to their final 3 outs to work with in the 7th inning. They're trying to keep it a 5-run deficit. Ooh. The 1-2 pitch just missing off the edge, 2-2 count. Doc Stewarts do have activity in the bullpen in case it's needed. 2-2 count here for Hartzell. Line drive shot to center field, and Miller will get on base. Takes a turn, back in quickly from Burke. And Kyle Miller will have his first hit in the game after reaching on an error in the 5th inning. Leadoff man on base to start the 6th inning for Eugene as their bats are coming alive here late. Top of the order, Easton McDonald will bat. He is 0 for 2 in this game. Had a sac bunt his last time up. Doc's looking for a ground ball here to try and turn 2. Just high and away, 1-0 count. One ball, no strikes. Cam Hartzell will fire into McDonald. Gets him to foul that pitch off for strike 1. Well, if the score holds as it sits right now, it'll be Mid-Valley and Eugene at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Mid-Valley needing to win that game to force a winner-take-all game 2. 1-1 pitch from Hartzell is tapped first base side, picked up by Johnson. He'll run to the bag and make the play himself. But again, it's just been Eugene has just found ways to make life difficult on balls not necessarily hit hard, not really getting out of the infield, and those are the most frustrating types of baseball games. Up to second base goes Miller on what doesn't count as a sacrifice. but kind of works the same way. A swinging bunt down the first base line. Jake Johnson making the play unassisted. Man at second with one out. Brock Johnson shows a bunt off the outside corner and off the glove for Cal Robbins. 1-0 count to start. Brock Johnson 2 for 3 in this ballgame. An RBI single his last time up back in the 5th inning. Challengers sent 9 hitters to the plate in the 5th, scoring those 5 runs. Not all of them should be earned runs, I would imagine. 1-0 pitch, swung on and missed by Johnson. 1-1. One ball, one strike. Cam Hartzell will come set and get ready to fire in. Showing a bunt, laid it down third base side of the mound. Throw to first by Hartzell. They get the out. And up to third base will go Miller on the sacrifice bunt. 2 away. And up to bat will be Grady Saunders. 2 down. Man at third. Grady Saunders, 2 for 3 in the game, a double with an RBI back in the first. He did score a run in the 5th inning after reaching on a single. Takes a breaking ball, curveball in for a strike, therefore for Cam Hartzell. Docs will have Jake Johnson, Daniel Withers, and Brevin Harrison due up in the 7th inning to try and keep this game going. The 0-1. Ground ball hit hard, third base side, takes one hop past Daniel Withers into the left field corner, and the Docs will have to make up a little bit more ground as another run comes in to score. Saunders will have his second RBI of the game on a sharply hit ground ball past Daniel Withers at third. That'll be an RBI double for Saunders, his second of the game. Miller comes in to score from third, and there is 2 down. It's 8-2. The Challengers in front by 6. Do the Docs have a big rally in them in this one? We'll keep our fingers crossed. 2 down, Eli Christ up to bat. He is 0 for 3 in the ball game. Takes a breaking ball for a strike. Hartzell in relief of Drew Camp. Has given up his second run in relief. The 0-1 pitch swung on and missed for strike 2. Hartzell facing the Challengers for a second time. He made a start. Got kind of roughed up in that one, but he's been looking better as of late, and I think that's why they trusted him here in this situation. He's got the 0-2 pitch here. Breaking ball misses inside and low. Christ grounded out to third his last time up. He stands back in with a 1-2 count. Hartzell needs one more strike, one more out. He fires in, swing and a miss, gets it there. A throw down to first base for Robbins, and that will finish off the 6th inning. A strikeout for Cam. And that'll get the Docs through this 6th inning, but not before the Challengers add one more insurance run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base for Eugene. We will head to the top of the 7th inning. Doc Stewart's needing 6 runs to keep this ball game going on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
It's time to get your game on with Mountain Mike's oven roasted chicken wings. They're meaty, juicy, in 4 bold sauces ready to tempt your taste buds. And they're hand sauced and tossed for every order. It's game on with Mountain Mike's Pizza oven roasted chicken wings. Get your wings today. Order online or on our app for carryout or delivery.
Leading off for the Doc
It's the
Stewart
top half of the Southern Septic
17,
Service 7th inning, and nobody sticks their nose in Southern Septic Service's business. Get a free no-obligation estimate today for all your septic, grease trap, and portable toilet needs. Visit SouthernSepticServiceInc.com. Jake Johnson will lead things off. Docs need 6 runs to keep this ball game going. It was tied 2-2 through the first 4 innings. And then the Challengers strike with 5 runs in the bottom of the 5th to grab the lead. Jake takes pitch 1 outside from Kyle Miller. There's a pitch at the top of the zone for a strike. Miller has come in back in the 5th inning. He's pitched an inning and 2/3, has not given up a hit or a base runner. It's got a 1-1 count. Jake will ground one back to the mound, fielded by Miller. We'll send it over to Christ at first. There's one away. So that will bring up Daniel Withers as the rally gets even more difficult. Daniel Withers will try to get it started. All it takes is one guy to get something going here. First pitch fouled down the right side for strike 1. Docs have not had a hit since the 3rd inning. 0-1 count here for Withers, who's 1 for 2 in the game. And he'll take a strike on the outside corner. The 0-2 delivery here for Miller. He kicks and fires, gets Withers to foul off another pitch back towards the football facility. Stays an 0-2 count. The 0-2 delivery coming up. 8-2 the score in this one. Top of the 7th. Ball fouled off again towards the home dugout down the first base side. Withers staying alive, doing everything he can to try and stay in this one. The 0-2 count remains here for Miller. The 0-2 pitch is low. So a ball and 2 strikes here for Daniel Withers. Sun continues to cast some shadows. Home plate is mostly in the shadows. First base line also covered up. The 1-2 count here to Withers. Gets behind one to center field. Pretty well struck, but Peyton Tyner tracking back will make the catch. Over his shoulder, he runs that one down, 2 away. Docs down to their final out of the season. It'll be Brevin Harrison to try and keep this one going. Harrison, an RBI double back in the 2nd. He's hit a couple of balls pretty well out towards left field. The last one just didn't quite have enough behind it. And here comes a visit to the mound for pitching coach Justin Golddagger, and they're going to make a pitching change. So things are going to last a little bit longer here. We'll go ahead and take a 1-minute timeout as the Challengers make a pitching change here on 541radio.com. And on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
This broadcast of Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball is brought to you locally by Barnes Heating and Cooling, Cascade Community Credit Union, DC Farmers Co-op, Dr. Alanson Randall, Travel Leaders Flyaway Travel. Tune in throughout the summer for Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Donovan Jackson will make his first appearance of the postseason. as he comes out of the bullpen looking to get the final out for the Challengers, who lead this one 8-2 in what would be an elimination game for the Roseburg Dock Stewarts. Jackson has pitched 2 1/3 innings against the Docks this season. Gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, no walks, 2 strikeouts, 1 hit batter in that one appearance. New man on the mound, Jackson will face Brevin Harrison, and he'll fire in the first pitch for strike 1. Brevin is 1 for 2 in the game, trying to keep this game going. The 0-1 pitch, well outside, 1-1 count. Kyle Miller came in the 5th inning. He ends up pitching 2 1/3 innings in relief. The 1-1 pitch is in for strike 2, and Harrison down to his final strike as the Docks are down to their final out. The 1-2 pitch from Jackson, well outside, skips away from the catcher Gould. Challengers trying to stay undefeated in the tournament and make their life a little bit more comfortable tomorrow. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and there is the season. The Roseburg Dr. Stewarts will fall 8-2 against the Challengers in a must-win ball game here in Eugene. Strikeout for Donovan Jackson to finish off the ball game, and the Dock Stewarts, after playing tight with the Challengers through the first 4, unable to keep up down the stretch. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on here in the top of the Southern Septic Service 7th inning. We'll head to the postgame show and we'll recap today's game and the season for you as the Dock Stewarts finish on day 4 of the state tournament for a 4th straight season. Final score again, 8-2. The Challengers in the driver's seat heading to Championship Wednesday coming up tomorrow. Back after this on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings to the edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Turn your home into your dream sanctuary with help from Douglas County Farmers Co-op. For over 100 years, we've carried everything you need to keep your garden and crops green and growing, including a large selection of soil mixes, composts, fertilizers, and other soil amendments. You'll also find stones, boulders, gravel, and more to add structure and diversity to your yard. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
D.R. Johnson Lumber Company, a forward-thinking family company, has been operating in the Douglas County community for over 60 years. Founded by Don R. Johnson, the man who set the tone of commitment to these local communities by providing stable, long-term employment. D.R. Johnson Lumber Company understands the significance of investing in our youth because they are the foundation of our future. That's why they're a proud supporter of Roseburg Dock Stewarts. Come watch the Docks swing some lumber with D.R. Johnson Lumber Company. Go Docks!
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in our backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Well, it's always the hardest part of the season when you get the chance to wrap it all up, the Roseburg Dr. Stewarts will once again find themselves one win shy of getting a chance to play for a state championship. Final score was 8-2 in this one. The Challengers remain undefeated in tournament play. They have now won 15 consecutive games, and they will have a chance to try and win it all coming up tomorrow when they need to win one against the Mid-Valley Southpaws. And they can afford to lose one in there as well. It's not a must-win for them in Game 1, as it will be for the Southpaws tomorrow. So best of luck to those two teams. Great representation of the state of Oregon. We got down to the final 4 teams, and they were all good ones. Unfortunately, the Doc Stewarts don't get a chance to play as one of the final 3 teams in the state. Final score and final numbers as we take a look at our D.R. Johnson Lumber Company scoreboard update. 2 runs, 5 hits, 4 errors, and 2 men left on base for the Doc Stewarts. 8 runs, 7 hits, no errors, and 5 men left on base for the Challengers. The Doc Stewarts will end the season at 25-18-1 overall, and Eugene will be 44-8. And they are looking for one more win to make it 45 and make them state champions once again. Jaden Lucas picks up the win in relief, pitching 2 2/3 innings. Didn't give up a run, 1 hit, no walks, 1 strikeout. Starting pitcher Caden Richardson gave up 2 runs on 4 hits, left the game with it tied, and then the Challengers pick up the lead in the 5th inning. Actually, no, I would say, I think I got that wrong. I think it's Kyle Miller that gets the win, because he would have been the pitcher of record at the time. So it'll be Kyle Miller that'll get the victory for Eugene. He pitched 2 1/3 innings in relief. No runs, no hits, no walks, 3 strikeouts. He was one of 4 pitchers used by the Challengers here in this one today. Taking the loss is going to be Drew Camp. He pitched 4 2/3. Had out to a bit of a shaky start, but the defense kind of faltered a little bit behind him, settled in nicely, pitched 3 clean innings without giving up a hit, but then in the 5th inning, things on the 3rd time through the lineup kind of fell apart for the Docs, and they would give up 5 runs in that 3rd inning. Camp finishes going 4 2/3, gave up 6 runs on 5 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, and 1 hit batter. Cam Hartzell pitched the final inning in the 3rd, gave up 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout in this one. There's going to be a number of unearned runs in this one for the Docs as they commit 4 errors. Unfortunately, not their cleanest game defensively, and the Challengers, they do a lot to put a ton of pressure on you, and that leads to miscues out there on the field. It was 2 runs in the 1st inning for Eugene, 2 in the 2nd for the Docs to tie it up. We were tied at 2 going to the 5th. Eugene got 5 in the bottom of the 5th to pull ahead. They added 1 insurance run in the 6th, and they would get the victory here, 8-2. Now they need one more win coming up tomorrow to claim the state championship here in 2024. For the Doc Stewarts in this one, 1 for 3 for Cal Robbins, 1 for 3 for Dane St. Clair. Jake Johnson, 1 for 3. Daniel Withers was 1 for 3. Brevin Harrison, 1 for 3 with a RBI double. And Taj Flora drove in a run with a ground out. He finished 0 for 2. Kind of a tough day for the most part for the Docs, though, at the plate, especially for some of their biggest hitters. Just couldn't quite get it going here today. For the Challengers, 2 hits in the game for Brock Johnson, also had an RBI. Grady Saunders had 3 hits, including 2 RBI doubles. Peyton Tyner was 1 for 3 with a 2-run single. And then Kyle Miller was 1 for 3 with a single in there as well. Scheduled tomorrow, it'll be Mid-Valley and Eugene squaring off at 2 o'clock tomorrow. And if Mid-Valley gets a win, it would force a winner-take-all Game 2 on Wednesday, and that would be approximately 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. But the games will all be played here at Sweet Johnson Stadium. If you're interested in making your way up to find out who will represent the state of Oregon in the Northwest Regional, which will be played in Montana, coming up next week. So that'll do it for the Doc Stewarts here this summer. Again, 25-18-1, a heck of a season with a lot to be proud of. And you look at the other teams that are at this point in the season, and you look at the ages of those teams. Most of them are filled with guys that either graduated in 2023 or 2024. You look at the Roseburg Doc Stewart's roster, and there's a lot of youth on this roster. They'll graduate some critical guys, some big-time players, but you look up and down this roster for the Docs, Paxton Burke, only going to be a junior next year. Cal Robbins, only going to be a sophomore next year. Dane St. Clair, a senior. Jake Johnson will be a senior. Taj Flora, I believe, a senior next year. Logan Anderson, I also believe. Let me just double-check here, try and get this confirmed. Logan Anderson will be a senior next year, so that's a good chunk of this lineup that'll be able to return next year. Drew Camp, the starting pitcher, senior next year at South Umpqua. So that's a lot of guys, and that doesn't include Brooks Avery, I'm fairly certain, will be aging out. Brevin Harrison, I think, is aging out, but I don't know. Daniel Withers, I'm not sure about that for him as well. So there could be a couple of guys that get a chance to come back after 1 year post-high school. But they've got a lot of youth on this team, so look out. The Doc Stewarts might be just 1 year away from truly contending for a state title maybe next year. But unfortunately, this is not their year. For a fourth consecutive season, they finish out the year on day 4. I do want to say thank you to everybody that has been a part of this season of Doc Stewart's Baseball here on The Score. It's been a lot of fun once again. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this was season number 13 for yours truly. It's been a long, fun run. I was hoping that this could be the year that it ends in a state title. I've been desperately wanting one of those, but we haven't gotten quite there just yet. But it's been a lot of fun to do it, and it was exciting to get a chance to do it once again for you here in Eugene. Doc Stewart's great season, a lot of success. July was a lot of fun and a lot of building blocks for this team going forward. It'll be interesting to see how things progress for this team. Want to say thanks to the Eugene Challengers for hosting us here for the state tournament this year. They were gracious hosts as always and had a great spot to broadcast from. A lot of friendly people to be around throughout these 4 days here at the state tournament. As always, want to say thanks to head coach Eric Savage, assistant coaches Justin Bennett, A.J. Doolittle, and Coach Jeremiah Robbins for welcoming me into the fold in that group of the adults in the dugout. But also say thanks to this entire roster of Doc Stewarts. They have been a lot of fun to be around this summer, as it usually is, but this has been a good group to be around. They have welcomed me in and made me feel at home as well, and it's been a lot of fun to spend a ton of time around these guys this summer. 45, you make that 44 games this summer for the Doc Stewarts, and we were there for most of them. It's been a great pleasure to be the home of Doc Stewart's baseball again this summer. So thanks to the Stewies. Thanks to Roseburg American Legion Baseball as well. And baseball is not done in the Umpqua Basin. Next week on Wednesday, the Single A Northwest Regional starts there at Champion Car Wash Field. So next week, you can catch some Single A Legion baseball there at Champion Car Wash Field in Roseburg. I hope the fans come on out to root on the Roseburg Dr. Randalls, the host team in that one, as they look to try and finish off their season with a fun run in the regional tournament there in Roseburg. So we'll have more information about that online at 541radio.com coming up here soon. But thanks again to Roseburg American Legion for allowing us to bring you another season of Doc Stewart's Baseball here on The Score. Want to say thanks to our board ops back in the studio that have been running our radio production all summer. Brenton Cranford back there today doing a great job. Grady Hamilton's been doing a great job this summer as well. We appreciate those guys for doing great work back in the studio for us. Thanks to Knight Uretsky, who also helped with some play-by-play coverage throughout this summer as well. Look forward to having some more of Knight on the radio for you here coming up as we get into the fall sports season with Roseburg High School. Knight joining us here on The Score. He'll be around more often. You'll be hearing his voice more often as well. So looking forward to getting a chance to work more with that young man. Thanks to my wife, Angela, who, as always, gives me plenty of freedom to be out doing this all summer long, puts up with the late-night hours and me not being around the house as much. Also comes out and helps out sometimes with the video production as well. Appreciate all that she does throughout this summer season to help allow me to be out here doing this coverage. Thanks to all the fans who have reached out throughout the summer. It's so fun to hear from you guys and hear that you guys are appreciating the broadcast. Again, it is my pleasure because without you guys, I am just a guy sitting here talking to myself, and I would gladly do it, but it's a lot more fun knowing that you guys are on the other side tuning in. So thanks again, everybody, for tuning in for Doc's Baseball here this summer. Again, Legion Baseball continues in Roseburg with the Single A Northwest Regional starting Wednesday next week at Champion Car Wash Field. And for us here on The Score, We have got a little bit of downtime with our local coverage, but we've got some more sports that will be coming up, including the NFL Hall of Fame game coming up later this week, NASCAR in the month of August, and we are looking forward to getting ready for the start of the fall sports season in high school sports, which of course means a lot of football coverage, as well as getting into soccer and volleyball in there as well. Cross country, don't want to forget them as well. So it's been a fun run this summer and looking forward to doing it again next year. But for now, we will say good night as Doc Stewart's baseball falls to the Eugene Challengers 8-2 here on day 4 of the state tournament. Good luck to both the Southpaws and the Challengers tomorrow as they play for the Oregon State Championship starting at 2 o'clock here at Sweet Johnson Stadium. That's going to do it for the broadcast here tonight, folks. Appreciate everybody for tuning in and joining us. I hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday night, and we'll talk to you again here soon on Douglas County's Home for Sports, The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.